be doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're doing it.
Oh, man.
What's said, the way it goes, the way you know.
Okay,
I'll stop telling them.
well, about a minute. You want me to be right on time?
Jennifer, do you have an agenda?
There.
It's yours.
Evelyn said they usually do it on Tuesday, but here we are on Wednesday.
These are probably different flags, and you can tell sometimes.
Oh,
Yes, if the
really?
Red flag is
Oh.
fine, that is noted to be careful when you go back there, you
Oh.
can't go back there,
Oh.
yeah.
Interesting.
That makes
Always a
sense.
good idea. All right, this meeting is called to order.
All right.
Our first item of business is a provisional ballot from last time.
Yeah, so we had one voter who owns property in the annexation area, but their main residence is actually in Fayetteville. So the individual had called and got two different answers from two different entities on whether they were eligible to vote or not. So when the voter came to the polling place, we explained that only individuals who reside in the annexation election are eligible to vote. But we did offer the individual absentee ballot or a provisional ballot in order to be able to further investigate or bring evidence on why they believe that their ballot should count. So the first thing you have is basically the front of the envelope for the provisional ballot. And then I went ahead and pulled the code for the annexation ordinance so that you could see where it says all the qualified electors residing within the territory to be annexed. And then the next one is the county clerk shall prepare a list by precinct of all those qualified electors residing within the area to be annexed. So with the information he gave us that he doesn't live in the area, but just owns property in the area, it was proper to vote a provisional ballot for that voter. And the clerk has confirmed that the voter is a registered voter and he was given the proper ballot. So if the commission does agree that his ballot should be counted, we would be able to. But my recommendation based on the statute
Yeah.
would be that this ballot is not eligible to be
Right.
counted.
Have you talked to the gentleman?
We talked to him yesterday on the
Okay.
phone. He was actually really nice about everything. And I think the confusion for the voter was that he had received two opposite answers to a
Yeah,
question.
that's probably.
Yes, so he came to the polling place, and then, of course, our poll workers did the proper thing by having him vote a provisional ballot. So yes, and after the meeting, I will mail out a letter to him and we'll post it and all of that, but I probably will give him a call
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
right.
We have his phone number, so.
Right.
There's no, I mean, the election failed.
Well, it was. Do you want to say who it was?
No, I mean, not unless you want to.
I mean, it is public information,
Yeah.
but,
His name.
yes. So. But the action that the commission would need to take today would be to sign this, which shows, the information from the voter.
Okay.
And then I would need one commissioner to sign the letter to the voter.
That's
And
what
that
this
would be,
is.
yeah, that would be the action that the commission would need to take.
And on count.
Yes. Now, if the commission has a different opinion, I can rework this, but
Chairman, do you want to vote?
I don't know that this is something we vote on. We can discuss it. Because, I mean, I think the law is pretty cut and dry.
yeah.
Agreed.
So, you know, unless he comes up with a compelling argument on December the 1st.
Right.
Actually, if he chooses to even come to that meeting, and he may not.
Is there's nothing residential on that and it's property, there's no. Like,
So we don't know, and that would be up to the voter. That's why you have the hearing, because then the voter could bring compelling evidence to say, no, this is why my ballot should count.
Right.
But based on the information that we have, that the voter resides in Fayetteville, but doesn't own property, I think the proper motion at this point would be to not count the ballot unless he provides evidence on why it should.
Yeah. Okay. That,
But
that's
it
perfect.
failed.
Yes,
Yeah.
He would not be for it, he would be against it. I would think.
Well, that's a presumption.
Yeah. Or,
And-
we'd have to look at this ballot.
Yeah. Go ahead, you can sign it if you want.
and I did. I was curious. Pull the results by precinct.
Oh,
And, the voters. There were 76 voters in the annexation area, 37 of them came to vote. And in that annexation area, the vote was 7-4 and against was 29.
oh, wow.
So I was curious as to
Yeah.
how that turned out by precinct.
So, I mean, notwithstanding the fact that this man has a right to vote, it would have not, it wouldn't have mattered one way or the other how he voted.
Wouldn't have changed.
No,
Yeah.
but we will always include every
Right.
eligible ballot in the final certification.
Okay. So any other questions or comments or?
No, I'm glad that your staff, did the right thing and left a provisional until we could pass it here.
Yes, and we knew he was coming to the polling place, so I had pre-warned our supervisor. When this voter comes in, please give me a call. He's going to have questions. It'd be easier for our staff to answer the questions. And then we walk them through. But yes, they follow the proper procedure and everything for a provisional voter.
It's good practice for
Yes.
the future.
Okay. Other business then.
So this wasn't on the agenda, but we proofed yesterday
Oh, good.
ballots.
Wow.
And are still proofing. There is one thing that we have learned that we need to start proofing early on before we get into LNA, which is how the names of the candidates appear on the tapes. So when you have a candidate who runs, and it's specifically judges and justice of the peace, and they have justice of the peace, and then big long name afterwards. When it prints
Oh.
on the ballot or on the tape, it doesn't print their whole name. So for instance, if you look,
Go to the second line, just.
it just stops. So Justice of the Peace, Chandra,
So it's completely truncated.
yes. So,
And if it's too long, you would need, it would just be justice of the peace.
right, and one of the Supreme Court justices is just Arkansas Justice, and
Oh.
then there's like no name after it. So what we do is, but we will let the candidates know that on the tapes, this is not on the ballots or on the,
Okay,
or
you can
on
do
the
that?
ballot that prints from the express vote. This is strictly on the tapes, but in case someone is looking at the tapes, we will, shorten their names. So for instance, what we'll do with, and I think each one of these pages has an example on it. What we will do is, for JP, we put JP instead of Justice of the Peace. If they had representative in front of their name and it won't all fit, we would put rep. And so we go through and do that for those names, so that I think it's important not on the results tape that their full title appears, but the actual name of the candidate appears.
So the results tape is. Printing this
It's gonna be this column right here?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's called the short name when you're building out the ballot.
okay.
There's the long name and the short name, and the short name is what determines what prints on the tapes. The long name determines what prints on the ballot.
As long as you have that, flexibility
Mhm.
on your tape, this is a great way to do it.
Yes, and this will be something when we send out the information to the candidates about how their name is spelled on the ballot,
Mhm.
all of that sort of thing.
Mhm.
This will be included in that information, so the candidates are fully aware, that this has happened.
Are they doing similar things in other counties?
So
I mean, have you talked to them about
this
that?
this is allowed by law, so we're
Mhm,
not doing
right,
anything that
right.
isn't allowed by law. This is one of those little details that because we're a PYO county, we can kind of get into the
Yeah.
details.
Okay.
When ESNS says it, it may be, for sure how they do it. You know, we take the time to make sure if it's a really long name that it doesn't say State Representative Rebecca and then Burks is on the bottom.
Right.
Like if it's gonna have to be split, we're gonna do State Representative and then the two names at the
Yeah.
bottom. So there's those little details that you have to go through and look at all the
Yeah.
visible faces to be able to see, but this is something that we learned to prove now. In the past, we haven't noticed it until we started LNA, and then it's kind of, you have to start all over. So we've learned to prep this in advance.
So this is a great way to do it. Yeah, I'm pleased that we got that.
Yeah, and basically, this is just a list of what this is every single name
Right.
that's on the ballot and how it
Here's
appears.
a lot more. With 11, 17 sheets these days, I check.
And we inherited a couple of boxes from another
Oh, did you
department.
really?
Yes, and so I'm like,
Yay.
okay, since we inherited all of this, we will,
Yeah.
yes, we will use it.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so we've got that. You got other business?
and then the only other thing on the ballot layout that we have been doing is they're all kind of the same, different precincts, but all essentially the same. Okay, what we're gonna get. Okay. So we did have to go ahead and make the boxes smaller. If you'll see, for instance, State Supreme Court Justice, Associate Justice Position 3, how that box is bigger than the other boxes.
Oh, yeah.
We needed the space. So when it all came down to it, we had to go in. So where we could, we created space by making some of the candidate boxes smaller, and the ones where we can't, like if it's 3 lines, we have to go with a 2-inch box.
Yeah.
But what we did was, so for Fayetteville, what we're running into, because they have the 9 questions,
Oh, yeah.
we anchored the city of Fayetteville special election to the back. So that, because what was happening was the city of special election, the verbiage telling us
on
that
the front.
it was staying on the front, and then the questions were on the back, and we didn't feel that was an appropriate
Yeah.
flow. But if you will notice, we added headers at the top where it says page 2 and page 3. So when we go to put on the verbiage that says continued on back, we'll also be able to say continued on page 3. And that gives a clear picture to those voters who receive the 2 sheets of paper, that there's 3 sheets.
Doesn't mean they'll do it right, but at least they're one.
But we were like, okay, how can we make this? And I
Yeah.
felt like doing page 2 and page 3, when we write instructions, that even makes it clear, you're gonna
That's right.
get a page 3, make sure to vote page 3 and return page 3 down. It just makes it easier,
Right.
to, give instructions to the voters.
Okay.
And this is only for absentee voting. This is not for in-person voting, but yeah.
Okay. Any comments on that? Any questions?
No, good. Looks good.
All right, well. Proceed with what you're doing.
But we think overall, we have a really good layout for the ballot. So, yeah.
Yeah, put that back to you. Other items on that or anything else?
Trying to think what else from proofing that might have popped up, and I don't think anything else popped up from our proofing yesterday.
Okay. So our next meeting is December the 1st.
December the 1st
Okay,
at 9, and we will have the provisional ballot hearing. We will certify the election, and then we will follow up with ballot, if there's anything else that we have for the ballot. Any updates for early vote, election day sites, all of that, we'll go ahead and roll that into that meeting. And then December the 4th will be the ballot drive.
right, yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you get my text about that? So I have an 8:30 appointment.
Oh, yes, that's on the 11th. I could have sworn that was your appointment on the 11th. That was for the ballot approval.
Well, I don't have that in front of me. But, I've got
Incorrect myself.
I don't know. I'll have to look and I'll
Is the ballot, draw, we have already sent notice the candidates
oh,
and
okay.
to the, county chairs,
Okay, that's right.
but.
All right, then I'll have to,
Hold on, Renee. You're December the 11th, which is ballot approval. We can move that.
okay.
Yes,
I think
December the 11th.
Oh,
is
yeah, I
what we
did.
have, and
Yeah.
we do have a meeting scheduled for that day at 9. But if we could push it back to 10 on December the 11th. That one we can
okay,
adjust,
okay, well,
if everyone can meet at 10
Right, at
instead
10.
of, yeah,
Good.
yeah, and I will send down a.
sorry, y'all.
So December 11th.
December the 11th at 10.
Okay, anything else? Anyone? Got anything? All right, this meeting is adjourned. Back on the 1st.